Hi, welcome to the first of the 4 Project Success series. If you're going to watch this for more than 30 seconds, I would be pleased to note that though you may be a good and successful project manager, you still have the desire and keenness to absorb more with the view of getting better each day and completing one successful project after the other. But if you know it all, then I guess I'm not going to be telling you anything new. So what we are not going to do here is to rediscover project management methods. And to let you know what this series is designed is to reconcrete your path to become more successful project managers. I will briefly focus on some of the issues that project managers lose sight of or do not give due importance during various stages of the project. Now, how did this come about? These have come about both from experiences as well as interviews and discussions with other project managers and directors. Okay, now let's quickly look at the primary skills for success. Now, if you ask 5 project managers on what they think the first primary skill is, I'm sure there would be 7 different answers. Something like leadership, controlling, foresight, etc., etc. Maybe what you should do is pause this video and write down 3 primary skills that you think are most important. And even if you do find they are different to the ones I'm talking about, it doesn't mean that you're wrong. It is just that I'm now focusing on the 3 issues that, after discussing with other project managers and directors, are actually very important for us to make sure that if we follow them, we will be successful. So what am I going to tell you? Which is the first one? The first skill that you must have is discipline. It is given and a prerequisite that project managers must possess these skills and qualities and showcase them to all before they are given a charge of managing a project. Well, that's an understood fact. Now, knowledge is achieved by way of obtaining certification or undergoing fundamental training. And I'm not talking of knowledge coming when you're on the job. These days, everyone gets the knowledge by way of certification or going through some fundamental training. Now comes the next part, skills. Skills come about when you are on the job, and then again you need sometimes improvement of skills, and they are achieved when you undergo specific advanced training. Of course, the projects, when you execute them successfully, will bring about the confidence in you. The project managers often, after a few good projects under the belt, fall into the trap of a know-it-all attitude, which then leads to the shortcuts and risks in managing the projects being undertaken. And this is what I meant in my initial introduction itself, that if you know it all, perhaps I would not be giving you much information. But hopefully by now you are interested. It is now with due respects to all project managers that I'm giving this following advice. Whether you are successful or looking for it, the key attitude at all stages is to approach each project, their tasks and subtasks, and manage them with great discipline. Every step of project processes specific to your project must be implemented with great sincerity and discipline. Let me guarantee you, success will always follow this approach. Become the Tiger Woods of project management, or whoever top sportsman you wish to name. They are all very, very disciplined in their approach. Hope this one makes sense to you. Now, the second skill is planning and planning. Whether it is a project or a marketing exercise or war between nations or even arranging a wedding and parties, planning for its success is the only first but the most crucial step. I am not going to fall into the advantage of planning category. That is, you should know what the advantages of planning are before starting a venture. So if you get my idea, the second important skill is planning. Now, why is it in my list? It is because many project managers do not complete the planning of projects to the detail that is required. Planning of project comes with a huge number of tasks and subtasks that require detailed working by the project manager. These subtasks are highly dependent on the type of project being executed. So now that I would believe that you are knowledgeable in the key tasks of project managers and are well aware of them, I will not get into it. Again, we are now going to identify the tasks that are very important to the success of any project. The first one of all the key tasks is to completely understand the scope of the project. Now, this must include any special requirements like quality or testing or adherence to specific standards or any deviations, etc., and their impact. These and other areas become part of the scope of study. Give this scope study a good amount of time and importance. Not doing this is one of the major reasons for project failure. All right. The next important one of the key task is break down structure of every activity, which a lot of people know is called the WBS. This is the key to planning the project for success. This activity cannot be done by the project manager alone. Get your team together, identify the tasks, and break it down further into their subtasks. Then, what do? It's not over. Think again. And when satisfied, move to the next task and its subtask. Right? So keep going into detail, into subtasks. Of course, revisit WBS often in your project life cycle. Now, it's a tip for you guys. Pay attention to the quality of your project requirement at this stage. Do not depend on the QA manager or anyone else at this stage. All right. Now, the third key area of planning is scheduling. Of course, you know it. Now, having completed the WBS, use this as your basis for setting up the project schedule activity. You will now be close to the reality of your project delivery because now you have identified the tasks, the key tasks, and you have got to plan according to their schedule requirements. There are many small to medium-sized projects for which many project managers do not give due importance to the core activities of planning, especially those listed above. So please take care.